Oh, thanks. Nice.
Hey, Tracy.
You know, after all that, I lost my blue pen. All my machinations. Hey, Vanessa, you have an extra blue pen? An extra blue pen? After all that.
I have 3, and I don't know if they're blue though. Oh, you know what? This one, here, take them all.
All my machinations.
You probably left it on my desk.
Good evening. We'll call the Monday, March 23rd, 2026 Winter Haven City Commission meeting to order. City Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Davis.
Here.
Commissioner Dollison.
Here.
Commissioner Birdsong.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Mercer. Here. And Mayor Yates.
Here. Okay, we'll have invocation by Minister Abdul Al-Khatib from First Missionary Baptist Church, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance from City Clerk Vanessa Castillo. Please stand if able.
Just want to make a correction. He's a reverend now.
Thank you. Yes. Let us pray. Almighty God, we gather in this chamber with hearts humbled by the privilege to serve. We thank you for the city of Winter Haven, a place of beauty, resilience, and promise. As this commission meets, we ask for your divine guidance. Let wisdom flow through every conversation, and may each decision reflect justice, compassion, and the common good. Lord, bless our mayor, commissioners, and all who labor for the welfare of this city. Strengthen them with integrity, patience, and vision. May they lead not for personal gain, but for the flourishing of every resident, from the youngest child to the eldest neighbor. We lift up our community, especially our women during this month, women and girls in this month, celebrating leading the change, women shaping a sustainable future. We lift up our families, schools, businesses, and neighborhoods. Let peace dwell in our streets and let hope rise in every heart. May we seek the peace and prosperity of the city to which you have carried us, and in its welfare find our own. We commit this meeting into your hands. May your presence guide us and your purpose prevail. In your holy name we pray, and all God's children said, Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, Mayor and City Commissioners. We have a number of presentations for you this evening. Our first presentation is Child Abuse Prevention Month. It's a proclamation for it. Here to receive it, we have Katie Parchment, Prevention and Diversion Program Manager, Sean Butler, Director of Community Relations, and Taisha Gent, Community Engagement Specialist from Heartland for Children. Whereas Florida is committed to improving the lives of its residents and securing a better future for the citizens of the state and children who have adverse childhood experiences, who are at higher risk of short and long-term physical, psychological, and behavioral challenges that can impact the individual and the greater community. And whereas parents and caregivers who have resources and provide support are better equipped to give children safe and nurturing experiences. And whereas children have better mental health and physical health and academic success when they are raised in a safe, stable, and nurturing environment. Whereas the Florida Department of Children and Families Secretary has a vision for holistic services by integrating systems and services. And whereas the state of Florida has established Hope Florida, a pathway to prosperity, a personalized approach to helping families overcome barriers to self-sufficiency through community collaboration. And whereas Floridians can call 850-300-HOPE to speak with a care navigator for support to develop a plan to achieve economic self-sufficiency, referrals to local partners, and help identify goals and barriers in their lives. And whereas during the month of April, Prevent Child Abuse Florida, in collaboration with the Governor's Office of Adoption and Child Protection, the Florida Department of Children and Families, and the Ounce of Prevention Fund of Florida implement Pinwheels for Prevention, a statewide coordinated campaign to raise awareness of child abuse prevention efforts by teaching about healthy child development and positive parenting practices, and establishing a circle of parents, peer support groups. And whereas Child Abuse Prevention Month provides everyone a chance to learn how they can play a role in preventing abuse and neglect, including ACEs, which are the adverse childhood experiences mentioned earlier. And whereas Child Abuse Prevention Month reminds Floridians of all ages that they can help children increase positive childhood experiences, which lead to happier, healthier childhoods. Now, therefore, William Bryan Yates, Mayor of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, does hereby extend his support to all observing April 2026 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in the City of Winter Haven, Florida. In witness whereof, he has hereunto set his hand and caused the seal of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, to be affixed this 23rd day of March 2026. Signed, William Bryan Yates, Mayor. Attest, Vanessa Castillo, City Clerk.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you for having us here tonight. I first want to acknowledge that we have two board members who sit on the Board for Heartland for Children here tonight to join us, so if they would stand for a moment. They are who help us to make sure that our kids are safe. Thank you. And again, thank you for proclaiming April as Child Abuse Prevention Month in the beautiful city of Winter Haven. We sincerely appreciate the City of Winter Haven's continued involvement in the Pinwheels for Prevention campaign each and every year. And if you don't know, this is the Pinwheels for Prevention, and it's used as a symbol to represent Child Abuse Prevention Month. We are very encouraged to see many cities, schools, and county municipalities displaying pinwheels and engaging in important conversations about how we can strengthen families and keep children safe. The Pinwheels for Prevention campaign uses a simple child's toy, a blue and silver pinwheel, to represent happy, healthy childhoods that all children deserve. It also serves as a powerful reminder that each of us play a vital role in protecting children. Heartland for Children is proud to serve as the lead community-based care agency under the Department of Children and Families. We are deeply committed to child safety and to supporting families through prevention efforts, services, and resources that help children remain safe and connected to their communities. To provide a snapshot of the families we currently serve, I'd like to share a few data points with you. As of March 2026, there are a total of 1,452 children with open child welfare cases across Polk, Highlands, and Hardee counties. This is a decrease from last year. During the last fiscal year, out of that number, 547 children in our Tri-County area were removed from their homes due to abuse, neglect, or threatened harm. Currently, Polk County alone has 1,073 active Department of Children and Family cases. Of those, 662 children have been removed from their homes and placed in out-of-home care. That is 22% of those children living in traditional foster homes, and approximately 22% of them, those foster homes are outside of Polk County. So this highlights our greatest ongoing need: the recruitment for more quality foster homes. At present, we are at 131 traditional foster homes across the Tri-County area of Polk, Highlands, and Hardee counties. While 121 of these are located in Polk County, we are still in need of about 50 additional foster homes here to ensure that children can remain in the close to their families, schools, and communities that have brought them up. There's so much to celebrate, though. During the fiscal year of 2024-25, 178 children were adopted in our Tri-County area. That's 178 children who found forever homes, and that's something to be celebrated. We are proud to share that this fiscal year, we have already matched 178 children with permanent loving families, exceeding last year's total amount for the entire year. Our goal for the 2025-26 year is 230 adoptions. So we invite the community to visit our adoption gallery on the Heartland for Children website to learn more. Throughout April, we encourage everyone to display pinwheels, share information, and engage in meaningful conversation, both in person and on social media, about child abuse prevention. We also ask that you proudly wear your pinwheel lapel pin that's been provided to you as a visual symbol of support. Together, we can make a lasting positive impact on the lives of children and families in Polk County. Thank you again for your commitment to children and families in Winter Haven. Have a blessed night.
All right, our next proclamation this evening is for Water Conservation Month, and Amanda Samat, the Government Affairs and Regional Manager for the Southwest Florida Water Management District, is here with us, along with Cassidy King, our Customer Relations Specialist from our Winter Haven Water Department. Whereas water is a basic and essential need of every living creature, and whereas the state of Florida's water management districts and the city of Winter Haven are working together to increase awareness about the importance of water conservation, and whereas the city of Winter Haven and the state of Florida has designated April, typically a dry month when water demands are most acute, Water Conservation Month, to educate citizens about how they can help save Florida's precious water resources. And whereas the city of Winter Haven has always encouraged and supported water conservation through various educational efforts and special events. And whereas every business, industry, school, and citizen can make a difference when it comes to conserving water. And whereas every business, industry, school, and citizen can help by saving water and thus promote a healthy economy and community. And whereas efficient irrigation design, programming, and maintenance can conserve water, the city of Winter Haven encourages citizens and businesses to evaluate their irrigation systems for potential efficiency enhancements. Now, therefore, William Bryan Yates, Mayor of the city of Winter Haven, Florida, does hereby proclaim April 2026 as Water Conservation Month in the city of Winter Haven, Florida, and call upon each citizen and business to help protect our precious resources by practicing water-saving measures and becoming more aware of the need to save water. For this, the 28th year of Water Conservation Month, there will be a special focus on irrigation system evaluations. In witness whereof, he is hereunto set his hand and caused the seal of the city of Winter Haven, Florida, to be affixed this 23rd day of March, 2026. Signed, William Bryan Yates, Mayor. Attest, Vanessa Castillo, City Clerk.
Thank you. Good evening, Commission. My name is Amanda Simmet, Government Affairs Regional Manager at the Southwest Florida Water Management District. I'm here today with Cassidy King, Customer Relations Specialist of Winter Haven Water. Water Conservation Month is an important opportunity to reinforce the simple, practical actions that help protect our water resources, support resiliency, and ensure we can meet the needs of our growing community. Your support of this proclamation helps raise awareness and encourages responsible water use across the city. By prioritizing water conservation, we can ensure a future where clean and accessible water is available to people all around the globe. I'd like to extend a sincere thank you to the City of Winter Haven for its continued leadership and partnership in promoting water conservation. Your efforts make a real difference, and we appreciate your commitment to safeguarding our shared resources. Thank you.
All right, our next proclamation this evening is for Child Gun Safety Education Month. And Robert Dumet, the Executive Director of Engage Polk County, and Dr. Manuel Finesca, Chairman of the Child Gun Safety Education Campaign, are here with us. Whereas there's been a dramatic increase in child-involved unintentional shootings nationwide in the past 20 years. And whereas in its 2023 unintentional firearm injury deaths among children and adolescents aged 0 to 17 report, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention determined child-involved unintentional shootings to be a public health crisis. And whereas the largest percentage of these deaths were among children aged 11 to 15 years. And whereas the majority of victims were fatally injured at a house or apartment, including their own. And whereas approximately 2/3 of shooters were playing with or showing a firearm to others when it discharged. And whereas the CDC has determined unintentional firearm injury deaths of children are preventable, and whereas it is important to promote child gun safety education and educate Florida's youth in gun safety practices and make Florida the nation's leader in reducing and eliminating unintentional firearm injuries and deaths of child leaders. Now, therefore, William Bryan Yates, Mayor of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, does hereby recognize April 2026 as Child Gun Safety Education Month in the City of Winter Haven. In witness whereof, he is hereunto set his hand and caused the seal of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, to be affixed this 23rd day of March, 2026. Signed, William Bryan Yates, Mayor. Attest, Vanessa Castillo, City Clerk.
Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, I'm Robert Dumet, Executive Director of Engage of Polk County, right here in Winter Haven. And we had our mere beginnings back in 2015, and our focus is firearm safety and education. Last year, 2025, in the first 4 months of the year, we had 3 child-related gun fatalities, which gave us the impetus to start this campaign of April being Child Gun Safety Education Month. It is recognized that there are over 500 million firearms in the hands of the citizenry of the United States. Guns are not going anywhere. Our goal is to train and to teach, educate our youth in the recognition of and the safe handling of and the avoidance of these firearms, and to educate them in the correct use when they are of the given age. And it's our honor and privilege to be here to receive this proclamation this evening. And I'd like to introduce you to, at this time, our campaign chairman, Dr. Fonseca.
Mayor, Commissioners, thank you for the opportunity to be here. Education is always have been our primary focus in the United States. We educate kids on how to be safe on everything we do, don't drink and drive, don't text and drive, etc. Now we're focused on gun safety, and that's important. There's 4 things a kid should always learn. If you see a gun in your home, you stop, you don't touch, you turn around, leave the room, and you get an adult. Because firearms are left not on purpose, but unintentionally. As we clean guns, as we work with them, try to learn more about our own weapons, including myself, sometimes I will lay the gun down. But I don't have kids in my house, but many people do. So teaching kids how to recognize a danger, it always helps them become better and hopefully keep safe in the future. Thank you.
Our final presentation this evening is a special one, so it is actually not a proclamation, it is a resolution because it is signed by all 5 of the city commissioners. It is in honor of our former mayor and commissioner, Ellie Threkel, and Dr. Jim and family are here to accept. So I'll read the resolution from the top. Eleanor Ellie Threkel, 1937 to 2026, former mayor and city commissioner. Whereas Eleanor Ellie Threkel was born in Kohala, Hawaii on June 30th, 1937 to Andrew and Gertrude Walker. She attended and graduated from Annie Wright High School in Tacoma, Washington in 1955 and attended and graduated from Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee in 1960. It was there she met and married her husband, Dr. Jim Threkel. And whereas after Dr. Threkel completed his medical training and residency, Dr. and Mrs. Threkel ventured to Winter Haven, Florida, where he began practice at the Gessler Clinic. Ellie established her mark in Winter Haven, where she became involved in a variety of organizations and was a full-time mother to their 3 girls. And whereas Ellie was committed to serving the Winter Haven community she loved. In 1988, she was elected to serve as a city commissioner, re-elected in 1992, and served until 1996. In 1991, 1992, and 1993, Ellie was chosen by her fellow city commissioners to serve as mayor, which she did until 1994. She also served as mayor pro tem in 1989. During her time in office, Ellie engaged in many community projects, one of the most impactful being, in 1992, helping to secure the Cleveland Indians for spring training at the Channel Lake Stadium. She was a member of the city's Planning Commission, the Ridge League of Cities Board, and appointed to the state's Juvenile Justice Commission. Ellie was the first elected official to receive the Ridge League of Cities Nettie Drotton Award in 1996 for her 8 years of service to the league. She served on the police and fire department pension boards. And whereas Ellie was a member of the Garden Club of Winter Haven, having served as president and a member of distinction, a charter member of the Junior League of Greater Winter Haven, and served as a committee chairperson and ruling elder at First Presbyterian Church of Winter Haven. Ellie served on the boards of Good Shepherd Hospice, Florida, Presbyterian Homes, and Heartland Crime Stoppers. She was also awarded the Bankers Cup Woman of the Year in 1984, the Girls Incorporated of Winter Haven's Julie Pope She Knows Where She's Going Award in 1997, and the Community Service Award by the Junior League of Greater Winter Haven in 2007. And whereas Ellie will always be known for championing the city of Winter Haven and its employees, her ability to make people feel appreciated, her love of sports, and her hats. And whereas Ellie, 88, passed away peacefully at home on February 14th, 2026, and is survived by Dr. Jim Threkel, her husband of 65 years, daughter Kit Threkel, and Peggy Threkel, grandson Casey Ray, son-in-law Andy Ray, and his wife Sherry, and sister-in-law Mimi Threkel. She was predeceased by her adored daughter, Libby T. Ray. Now therefore be it resolved that on behalf of the city of Winter Haven, the Winter Haven City Commission extends deepest condolences to the family of Eleanor Ellie Threkel and their heartfelt thanks for sharing her with the Winter Haven community. Many of these words of comfort be kept with the Threkel and Ray families, and we recommend a copy of this resolution be kept in the official records of the city of Winter Haven. In witness whereof, they have hereunto set their hands and caused the seal of the city of Winter Haven, Florida to be affixed this 23rd day of March, 2026. Signed, William Bryan Yates, Mayor, Tracy Mercer, Mayor Pro Tem, Nathaniel J. Birdsong Jr., City Commissioner, Clifton E. Dollison, City Commissioner, Chad Davis, City Commissioner. Attest Vanessa Castillo, City Clerk.
Mayor and Commissioners, my mom would be so humbled. We thank you. She loved the city of Winter Haven. She loved this community. She always wanted to make it a better place. So while you can't wear her hats, you can follow in her footsteps and continue to make this a better place. Thank you.
Look here, and I'll let friends and family take the pictures as well. 1, 2, 3. More. 1, 2, 3. So this is so nice to get your pictures. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioners, we have no developments of note this evening. However, there are 2 sets of minutes for review. Is there a motion on these minutes?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes. Let me turn the page. For March 4th, agenda review session minutes, and for March 9th of 2026 for the regular commission meeting.
Thank you. Commissioners, any discussion on these minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. All right, comments from the audience. We do have one individual that has signed up this evening. What we typically do is if you have an item that you would specifically like to speak to on the agenda, please hold until that item is before us. This does not have a specific item, so I will just call, I believe it's Paula Villard? Yes. Sorry. If you'll please state your name and address for the record, and you have 5 minutes.
My name is Paula Villarreal. My business address is 301 3rd Street Northwest, Unit 363. And that's my Winter Haven address for my business, and that's what I'm going to be discussing today. Basically, I've been here since 1962. I remember when we actually had a friendly system to where if we needed help, whether it was zoning, whether it was licensing or permitting, we would get the help. And there was not a lot of say, well, I'm so-and-so, so I'm not going to allow you. But nowadays, after 26 years we've been in Central, we had no issues. I pulled the licenses. I hired licensed people to do all our work in our business, in our restaurant, and there was no issue. We lost our lease. And this year we had to go into a new business or locate our business, relocate. We did. And I started asking questions as far as what I needed to do. That we were going to be pulling out licenses, what did we need to do? Not knowing that things had changed so drastically, 26 years. I was told that I had to go through GC contractors, and then the GC would hire the subcontractors to do the work that needed to be done in the restaurant. This restaurant was already a restaurant in previous years. It used to be part of the antiquarian. So there was items already there that did not need to be solved besides renewing the items. But this has been back since 17th of January that we have been trying to pull out permits, asking what does it need, what do we need to do? Just kind of second guessing because nobody wants to really tell you what you need to do. It's like hire a GC. Well, I picked up the phone and I called several GCs. They don't want small businesses. They don't want pop mom restaurants. They want big money. So we're left there hanging. And so far, right now, there has been no help coming from the city of Winter Haven that used to be a friendly place because everybody is looking or going after something. Just today, I got some licenses signed to get my permit, and then somebody from the permitting department went and said, well, she has to put a grease trap. And I was called on that I had to put a grease trap in my business that's right behind Old Town. It's Old Town Square. Right behind, there's a big gas pipeline that runs back there. There's very little room to do a grease trap. Well, prior to that, 26 years, we were given permission to use a Joe Sam because we don't use a lot of grease. We cook our meals. We don't grease them. So I was actually told today, well, you need to have a grease trap. I'm going to authorize and you have to have a grease trap. And I said, well, I already have the signatures from the zoning department stating that I don't need a grease trap. But all these things have been going on. It's one thing or another. There's little issues, little technicalities, and it's lasted me already 2 months. A lot of people don't last that long. I have held on. But I really would like to see if there's any consideration for small pop businesses, not only restaurants, that have help from the city or appoint people that actually work with us, because there's many of us that are small pop businesses. And Winter Haven is made up a lot of small pop businesses. So some people might have a deep pocket, I don't. but I've held on. And all I ask is whoever it is that we need to direct ourselves to get the help that we need. I'm almost there. So I'm almost out of it. But just like me, there'll be other businesses that are coming into town that need the help also. And there has to be some consideration for these businesses because most of them won't have deep pockets, won't have $100,000 or $200,000 to make a small mom place. They just want to be able to own their own part of Winter Haven. That's all they want, and that's all I want too. But I would really like to see being a little bit more considerate of those needs.
Okay, thank you. Red tape is not a fun thing, and it's certainly not a fun thing for small businesses. So I apologize that you have had some challenges over the past couple of months. We will have a member of staff reach out to you here just a moment once you have a seat, and we'll get your information, and then we'll have the appropriate individuals reach out to you tomorrow.
Yes.
And we'll try to get some better answers and get to a conclusion so you can get your restaurant open. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you coming tonight. Okay, I don't have anyone else that has signed up this evening. However, if there is anyone else that would like to speak, now is the opportunity, unless you want to speak to a specific item later this evening. Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, we will close the comments from the audience. We'll open the second readings. We have ordinance O-26-07. City Attorney, will you read by title only, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ordinance number O-26-07, an ordinance amending Chapter 21 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Winter Haven, Florida by rezoning a parcel from industrial-light I-1 zoning district to multifamily residential-low density R-3 zoning district, providing for the administrative correction of scrivener's errors, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing an effective date. General location, 1519 8th Street Southwest. The area covered by this request is 0.48 plus or minus acres. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy City Manager?
Yes, sir. This is the rezoning of a parcel for development of a residential duplex. There are no changes from the first reading. Staff recommends City Commission approve ordinance O-2607 and authorize the city manager or his designee to take all necessary actions related thereto.
Thank you. Okay, Commissioners, is there a motion on this item?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Move approval of O-2607 on second reading, public hearing.
Thank you. Motion's been made. We'll close the commission meeting, open the public hearing. Anyone wish to speak to this item? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing, reopen the city commission meeting. Any other questions or discussion on this item? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Okay, City Attorney by title only, O-26-11.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Commission ordinance number O-26-11, an ordinance of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, amending ordinance number O-25-29 regarding appropriation of funds for defraying expenses of the municipal government of the City of Winter Haven for the fiscal year commencing October 1, 2025, providing for severability and for the administrative correction of scrivener's errors, and providing for an effective date. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy City Manager?
Yes, sir. This is an amendment to the city's budget to reflect encumbered purchase orders from last year. There are no changes from our first reading. Staff recommends the City Commission approve ordinance O-2611 and authorize city manager or his designee to sign all documents and take all necessary actions related thereto.
Thank you. Commissioners, is there a motion?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Move approval of O-2611 on second reading, public hearing.
Thank you very much. Motion's been made. We'll close the commission meeting, open the public hearing. Anyone wish to speak to this item? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing, reopen the city commission meeting. Any further discussion or questions on this item? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. All right, we have the consent agenda.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Move approval of the consent agenda in its entirety.
Thank you. Okay, motion's been made. We'll close the commission meeting, open a public hearing. Anyone wish to speak to any item listed on the consent agenda? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing, reopen the city commission meeting. Any further discussion or questions on any item within the consent agenda? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. We have a couple resolutions. Resolution R-26-09, City Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. City Commission, Resolution Number R-26-09, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, authorizing the city manager and appropriate city officials to execute and to take all of the necessary actions regarding that certain standard grant agreement between the City of Winter Haven and the Florida Department of Environmental Protection, FDEP, under agreement number WRP-16 for funding for the design and construction of Bradco Farm Extension Wetland Restoration, parenthesis, a Sapphire Necklace Project, close parenthesis, providing for severability, conflicts, and an effective date. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy City Manager.
In July of 2024, the city applied for funding assistance through the Florida Department of Environmental Protection, the Protecting Florida Together program. We were notified in March of this year of the grant award in the amount of $2,458,078. This grant requires 50% matching funds, and the work plan covers land acquisition, pre-construction or design, wetland restoration, construction activities. And matching funds can include costs incurred by the city, starting from the agreements that we have under the public-private partnership with HGS LLC, formerly known as RES. So they can cover those costs, starting from the effective date of that agreement in July of 2024. Funds are budgeted for in fiscal year 25-26 to support the project funding, and staff recommends the City Commission accept the Florida Department of Environmental Protection WRP-16 grant, a Sapphire Necklace Project, execute Resolution R-2609, and authorize the city manager or his designee to take any and all actions necessary thereto.
Thank you. Commissioners?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
move approval of resolution R-2609.
Thank you. Motion's been made. We'll close the commission meeting, open a public hearing. Anyone wish to speak to this item? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing, reopen the city commission meeting. Any other questions or discussion on this item? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Resolution 26-10, City Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Commission Resolution R-26-10, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, approving the Local Housing Assistance Plan as required by the State Housing Initiatives Partnership Program Act, subsections 420.907 through 420.9079 Florida statutes, and Rule Chapter 67-37 Florida Administrative Code, authorizing and directing the mayor to execute any necessary documents and certifications needed by the state, authorizing the submission of the Local Housing Assistance Plan for review and approval by the Florida Housing Finance Corporation, and providing severability for the administrative correction of scrivener's errors and providing for an effective date. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy City Manager.
SHIP is a state program formed through the William E. Sadowski Act. It designates the Florida Housing Finance Corporation, FHFC, to administer the program, and they have established guidelines for SHIP operations. SHIP program is available to all counties in the state as well as to all cities which have a population of 50,000 or more. In order to participate in the program, the local government must develop a Local Housing Assistance Plan, or LHAP, which covers a 3-year period and outlines the various housing activities that the jurisdiction will undertake in the next 3 years. The city is expected to receive approximately $422,449 in funding in fiscal year 26-27, and has prioritized rehab and emergency repairs as its area of concentration, but will also provide down payment assistance as we've done in the past. There are a number of changes that'll get made to a section of that focus on owner-occupied rehabilitation strategies, which we reviewed at the workshop, and those requirements are consistent with, make our program consistent with Polk County's owner-occupied rehabilitation strategy requirements. A notification was published in the Winter Haven Sun on March 4th, 2026 to offer the final draft of the LHAP for public review and comment. To date, no comments have been received. There's no direct financial impact associated to the city associated with this item, as these funds are provided by the state. However, if the LHAP is not transmitted to the FHFC annually, the city's future SHIP allocations may be withheld. The city's Affordable Housing Advisory Committee met on March 2nd, 2026, and unanimously recommended approval of the LHAP as presented and is forwarding to the City Commission for action. Staff recommends the City Commission approve Resolution R-2610, approving the city's LHAP and authorizing the mayor to execute the same, along with the necessary certifications, and authorizing the city manager or his designee to submit the LHAP and related documents to the Florida Housing Finance Corporation for review and approval.
Thank you. City Commissioners?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
A motion to approve R 2610, local housing assistant plan.
Okay, thank you. Motion's been made. We'll close the commission meeting, open the public hearing. Anyone wish to speak to these items, to this item particularly? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing, reopen the city commission meeting. Commissioners, do you have any other questions or comments on this item? I have one. And I probably should have asked this at the agenda review, so I apologize. But I know for several years ago, we had trouble in spending all these funds and getting them deployed so that, you know, they were utilized. Of course, the state legislature didn't help when they withheld those funds or shrunk those funds to where they couldn't do a lot. But just probably should have asked for a preparation on this, but just, can we get like a quick high-level viewpoint of how we're doing in that program?
Yeah, that program has gotten very successful in recent years. I think, Eric, do you want to touch on that?
Sure, and we have Nancy Hurley here as well, who was our Affordable Housing Compliance Manager. But that program over the last, I would say, 4 years has really got its legs under itself. And you're right, in years past, particularly with a lack of funding, we had some issues deploying this money out in the community. We have an active waiting list, I believe, of over 30, I'm looking at Nancy, maybe 30 or so applicants.
21 on the waiting list, and we've got 5 current.
21 on the waiting list, 5 more that are in the application process.
And I'm sorry, that's to acquire a home or
No,
fix a home?
they are primarily the owner-occupied rehab strategy. We do down payment assistance, but the majority of them are the owner-occupied rehab. We effectively, one down payment assistance, and the rest are rehabs.
Okay.
On the waiting list. We would like more money because we can't spend it fast enough.
Okay. Sorry, that was a curveball, I know,
That's
but
okay.
I just thought it was good for a high level.
Staff was
peek at
prepared.
that,
I've got giant spreadsheets.
Okay. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign, motion carries. No first readings this evening. We do have 2 new business items. We've got a memorandum of understanding between the City of Winter Haven, Florida, and Four Star Real Estate Group, Inc. I guess, who wants this, city attorney or?
Yeah, I'll defer to the deputy city manager tonight.
I got it, this one. Maybe with some support from Eric. if needed. Four Star Real Estate Group is the developer of the Harmony at Lake Eloise subdivision. In 2023, the city entered into a developer's agreement for transportation impact fee credits. So that's to cover the costs and expenses relating to realigning the improved West Lake Eloise Drive. To date, up to 97% of that cost. That work has been completed, and the developers provided sufficient documentation showing that 97% of the total costs and expenses related to realigning that road are $4,523,799. So we agreed to those expenses ahead of time. What the MOU that you're approving, considering now, is establishing how that arrangement works. So it outlines the total impact fee credit amount, the terms, so they have 7 years from the effective date to utilize those credits, establishes an impact fee voucher form, provides for transferability of those impact fee credits, provides a mechanism for tracking. So if they were to transfer those credits to somebody else, how does the city track it and ensure accountability on that? And then it holds the city harmless and indemnifies the city. So there's no financial impact associated with this MOU. And staff recommends the city commission approve the memorandum of understanding with Four Star Real Estate Group Incorporated and authorize the city manager to execute the same.
Okay, thank you. We need a motion on this item.
Mr. Mayor, move approval of new business item, memorandum of understanding.
See, you had trouble too.
Between the City of Winter Haven, Florida, and Forster Real Estate Group Incorporated.
See, it sounds like an attorney.
Memorandum.
Had the legal guy involved, but.
MOU will suffice.
MOU, there, now he tells us. Okay. A motion's been made. We'll close the commission meeting, open the public hearing. Anyone wish to speak to this particular item? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing, reopen the city commission meeting. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Okay. Establishment of a fee schedule. Deputy City Manager?
Yes, sir. We had a good discussion on this one Wednesday night. The Winter Haven Recreation and Cultural Center is a newly constructed recreation facility designed to expand recreational opportunities, community engagement, and city-sponsored programming for Winter Haven residents. Historically, city recreation facilities have offered limited rental opportunities under approved fee structures while prioritizing public programming and community use. Staff reviewed past recreation rental practices and evaluated how those models should be updated to reflect Winter Haven Recreation and Cultural Center's modern design amenities and anticipated demand. The proposed fee schedule and facility rental use policy are intended to provide a consistent framework for facility use while ensuring that Winter Haven Recreation and Cultural Center's primary focus remains programs and community service. The proposed fee schedule is structured to offset operational costs associated with staffing, facility setup, maintenance, and utilities related to rentals. Revenue generated from facility rentals will support ongoing operations at Winter Haven Recreation and Cultural Center while ensuring that the facility remains accessible, affordable to the community. Given that Winter Haven Recreation and Cultural Center is a program-focused recreation center, rental activity is expected to be moderate and to supplement core programming. Staff recommends the City Commission approve Winter Haven Recreation and Cultural Center fee schedule and facility rental use policy to be effective upon approval.
Thank you. Commissioners?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
a motion to approve the establishment of the fee schedule and the facility rental use policy for the Winter Haven Recreation Center.
Thank you.
Cultural Center.
Thank you. Motion's been made. We'll close the commission meeting, open the public hearing. Anyone wish to speak to this item? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing, reopen the city commission meeting. Any other questions or discussion on this item? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. All right. City Commissioners Liaison Reports. Commissioner Birdsong, how about we
All
start?
right, I'll start off. I have a few items. I'd like to say, since I've been on the commission, I don't ever remember going to as many funerals as I've gone to since we last met. I mean, that's just, it's been really something. Mayor Treckle's wake and funeral, Delrick Leonard's wake and funeral, and two of my frat brothers' wakes and funerals. And then one that I had never attended, a military wake and funeral. And I attended the funeral of Major Cody Cork that was killed in the war, and they had it at the Winter Haven Worship Center, which will hold over 1,000 people, and it was pretty much full, but it was a very touching service. Got to meet his family, so I'll say that was a sobering wake for me and funeral. Attended the EDC meeting, attended the Polk TDC LCB, which is the Disadvantaged Transportation organization of the Polk TPO. And the PRWC, the PRWC filed a lawsuit against the Tampa Bay water in relationship to the Alafia River. And I can now say that because they went into mediation and came out of the mediation with an agreement, and the PRWC signed the agreement but Tampa Bay Water added some additional language and sent that to us, of which we didn't approve. And so the Water Management District staff met the same day that we met, because they were in agreement with the settlement that we had mediated. And so now it'll go before the full Water Management District Board, which is this week. And so we're hopeful that they will agree with the mediation settlement that had been put forth. And even if they do, then the Tampa Bay Water can actually not agree, and we would end up back in litigation. So hopefully that won't happen, but we'll know definitively before the next meeting. I attended the Polk County Red Cross Museum, and there were some artifacts in there that were truly amazing, and the curator was saying to me, she don't have any idea how those artifacts got there. There were pictures, there were proclamations signed by the presidents, 2 different presidents. She said it was in a storage upstairs in that facility. There were all kinds of pictures in there, and it's just really amazing. So if you get a chance, you ought to go by and look at the museum, because it's really something to behold, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. And the final thing is that my family gave me a surprise birthday party, and I'm not going to tell you how old I am. That's not public information. But at any rate, I had a joyous time on Saturday evening, and my official birthday was yesterday. So thank you. And I hear there's some cupcakes.
Yep, in our office.
And so I plan to eat some of those. So let's hurry up.
Okay. Well, happy birthday, Commissioner Birdsong. Commissioner Davis?
Yes, I echo what Commissioner Birdsong said. It's been a heavy couple weeks with the funerals, spending time with the families and friends and the community. I especially want to thank all of our community who came out to support Major Cody Cork. That was particularly moving to me when we were driving back in the procession and seeing everybody come out with their flags and their children, people of all ages, just really coming out to show not just the family but everyone else how much we owe to those who sacrificed their all for our country. And we showed up because it was important, and so I'm just very grateful to have had that opportunity. I also was given a tour of the Winter Haven Recreation and Cultural Center and got to take a look at that. It's coming along very nicely. I'm very proud of our staff and what you've done there. That's going to be quite an asset to our community. I look forward to grand opening next month. And then yesterday I stopped by the art festival downtown in Central Park. Really enjoying the weather. It was nice to just get out and walk around and see everybody come out. And that's all I got.
Thank you. Commissioner Dawson?
Good evening. I say happy birthday again to Commissioner Birdsong, just saying that, and we celebrate you. Also, we were able to attend the homegoing services for former Mayor Ellie Threckle. I met Mayor Threckle in the early 90s, and she was a first-class individual, and really appreciated her and all that she contributed to the city, and to know her personally and to appreciate the woman that she was and the difference that she made in Winter Haven. I was not able to attend the service for Major Cody in my daily regular duties, I serve as a lead pastor, and so I had to funeralize one of my deacons of our church actually at the same time, but I certainly honor his service and sent my condolences to the family as well. Was able to attend the Ridge League of Cities dinner in Bartow. Was really festive, enjoyed the fellowship as always, and also had the honor, the challenge of marrying one of my sons in the ministry, the Reverend D. Arthur Leonard, who was a great community worker and supporter here in Winter Haven, and Lieutenant Delville Mark, truly in the great work that he had done in many spheres of service here in Winter Haven. Toured the Cultural Center, a lot of emotions walking through that building, remembering the old facility that was there, and the fact that the city would embark upon a great endeavor such as this is really truly a blessing to the community. In many ways, I believe that part of our community certainly needs that kind of, what word do I want to use? Something that I think brings that, a first-class facility to an area that I think has been challenged in some ways, but we're seeing great improvements that are truly commendable, and we're appreciative to see that. Look forward to the ribbon cutting, and I know that many will come out. The facility will honor many African Americans who were part of the early beginnings of Winter Haven, and I think that is certainly honorable to do so. The church that I serve is a historical church celebrating 145 years this October, and so we look forward to even hopefully having an event or something there in the facility in the near future. I do hope also, I was sad to hear of the comments that were made from one of our small business owners who seemingly have been very successful in this area and wants to continue to do so. So I'm hopeful that, and I'm sure that, all efforts will be made to address her concerns and allow her to continue to do what she loves doing, and really adding, I think, a great contribution to our city. Look forward to hearing how that turns out.
Okay, Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes, I did attend the funeral and the visitations, I guess, of both Major Cork and, of course, naturally, on the procession back to Winter Haven from the airport, there were so many people lined up at every street corner along the streets. Their hands were over their heart, their hats were over their hearts. They were flying flags. They were just, if that's a comparison to the respect and the honor that they provided along the way, then I think, we're in pretty good shape in America today, at least with our military. And so it's like you said, he gave it all for that, and I'm glad that we were able to honor him in that way too. As far as Mayor Threkel, I worked here when she was mayor and when she was commissioner, so she was always available if you wanted to talk to her, no matter what. So, and she always had a smile, so she was very good. And I attended the Ridge League, where we got reports on some of the bill updates, and also, I guess, they had recessed, and the budget will be coming in next week, I guess, and so we will hear more, I guess, on the bills then. Also attended the American Red Cross Museum. Like you said, there were a lot of historical items that they had on display. They had a lot more. They gave a lot of the details on that. And one of the families that had helped keep up with some of this, she was there, and she's 104 years old. Wow. So, yeah, and also, I was at the torch run for the Special Olympics. I participated in it for a couple of years, and then haven't in the last 2 years, I guess. So I have a knee that bothers me a little bit, and so now I had a torn meniscus and had that repaired, and for 10 years it's been good. So, but anyway, I'm going to try to see if I can make it next year for that. Did the Winter Haven recreational tour. And I would like to say that staff just thought of everything. Every question you could ask, they could tell you what they had done and everything. There were lots of planning, and everything seemed to be all covered. I couldn't imagine that large a facility, and I'm sure they probably did in the background, but they had everything just covered. They thought of everything, so, and that's quite a big facility to think with all the planning and everything that goes into a facility like that. But so I think that was about it for me this week, or the past 2 weeks.
All right, thank you. Just a couple items this evening. So Mayor Threkel, I met her first when I was in elementary school, so I'm a little bit younger than most up here. But we had a moment where we got to talk while she was there, and I had to remind her once, I think when I was probably in high school or so, when I had an opportunity to speak with her again, and I looked a little bit different from 4th grade to high school, but she never forgot that moment, and she remembered that moment, and even when all the way up till just a few months ago, I knew that she remembered that moment and that interaction, and she was a very, very special lady here in Winter Haven, and I think she would be tickled that at our service they played "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," and if I can have a service that cool, that'll be neat. But I think there was only a few of us that remembered the actual special word in "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," and that is, we root for the Indians, and so that was just cool to be a part of that, and we will miss her dearly in this community. Major Cody Cork, as everyone has mentioned up here, attending, you don't want to ever attend those services, but the fact that we were able to attend, we were able to greet Major Cork when he arrived at Lakeland Lander Airport. We were able to speak with the family, and you could tell at that moment that family truly appreciated the heart and well wishes and everything that Winter Haven and the nation has done to recognize Major Cork's sacrifice. And as everyone else has stated, the roads were lined, and that was an incredible moment to be a part of. I hope that I'm never a part of one again, but an honor to be in service to the city of Winter Haven and to honor Major Cork in that way. I want to thank the Winter Haven Police Department and the Winter Haven Fire Department for their efforts in the services, and all of city staff that had a part in it. We rolled out the red carpet, and the family acknowledged that, and we're just so grateful and appreciative. So it's one of those moments that you are so proud to be part of a community that is Winter Haven. With that, a couple other items I wanted to talk about. So the Winter Haven Recreational Cultural Center tour, that was magnificent. I think I can actually make it across that swimming pool that we built there. Wouldn't stand a chance at Rowdy Gaines, but I can probably do at least one lap in the pool out there. Not that I'm going to attempt it, but we'll see. But the double courts, and you can hold 4 volleyball matches at one time in there, and the technology that we're gonna put in there is just second to none, and I couldn't be happier that that building is nearing completion and can't wait for the ribbon cutting on it. Winter Haven Youth Football out at Sertoma. I went and I toured their facilities about a week ago, and you know, that program was on the brink of closing. The past director had left. New individuals then stepped forward and said, hey, we don't want this to go away. We don't want this to go into a private company's hands in youth sports. And so they stepped up, and in a big way. And I appreciate their efforts for that. I toured what was once the storage facility that's out there, and I'll just say that's in bad shape. It's definitely a health hazard if you were to go into that building and sit in there for too long. I knew I wore a mask while I was in there, and was in there for no more than 10 minutes, had a headache for 2 hours afterwards. So we've got, and that building is not being utilized for anything today, but we need to step up, and that building needs to go away. And they're doing some major things with the press box and the facilities that oversee the fields. You know, we did a phenomenal job not too long ago with the baseball fields out at Sertoma, and the press boxes there and overlooking the fields. I'm asking for a call to action this evening on that. I know we've got a budget specifically for that, but I'd really like staff to work with the group out there with where they've come, where they're at today. Let's put together a budget. Let's get those facilities right out there so that our youth can enjoy those facilities just like the baseball players and the other magnificent facilities that we have in and around Winter Haven. So not asking for this overnight, but I definitely want to try to sooner than later put some things together so that we can put in motion a facility that is worthy of our youth and out there playing football. And I had Highway 17 and Boulevard. So I think Deputy City Manager's going to talk about this a little bit, but I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you to the city crews that worked overnight to get that intersection back open by 8 a.m. this morning. I think it's probably even earlier than that. It's probably closer to 6. Many members of our community didn't think that that was possible, and our team got it done. And so thank you for that. And I won't steal any of Deputy City Manager's thunder on what we think occurred out there and how we're going to fix it. But let's just say any social media comment that you saw was incorrect. So with that, City Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Commission. Nothing this evening other than to wish Commissioner Birdsong a very happy birthday belatedly, and hope you have very many more. Thank you.
Deputy City Manager.
All right, sir. Well, thank you, first of all, for recognizing the efforts of staff at Winter Haven Recreation and Cultural Center for their work overnight last night and their efforts to honor Captain Cork last week. That's all much appreciated. As you noted, there's a number of improvements underway already at Sertoma Park, and I know there are more in the works. We'll be sure to coordinate with the teams out there and make sure that we kind of get where we need to be. Quick update on Quiet Zone I just wanted to provide. We had a visit from the FRA in early March of this year. When they were here, they raised some concerns on the type of timing equipment that CSX has installed on the railroad tracks as it relates to being able to install a Quiet Zone. This had been raised before. We resolved it. They've raised it maybe again. We're waiting on a formal kind of report from that visit, which we have not received yet, but we continue to stay in communication with them about getting that. Once we get some formal feedback from them on what's there and what their perspective on it is, then we'll be able to kind of develop a plan forward one direction or another, but we can't really do anything until we get that clarity from them. So it's something we're staying on top of, but just wanted to keep you guys abreast of that. So Highway 17 and Cypress Gardens Boulevard. Yes, yesterday afternoon we had a small hole open up in the asphalt, kind of right in the middle of the intersection, closer to the western side, kind of between Taco Bell and where the old McGee Tire is. Underneath that small hole in the asphalt was about a 7 to 10 foot void underground. So we had to shut the intersection down immediately. I believe fire department were the first ones on the scene. Began closing that and then working with Public Works and the police department to develop a detour quickly and creatively on the fly. That's a big intersection to detour even at that time of night. That's a DOT roadway, so most of the infrastructure in there is DOT's. Worked very closely with them. City teams and DOT opened up that roadway to examine kind of what's going on. There's multiple pieces of infrastructure in there, so there's major water lines and sewer lines that we're having to work around. But ultimately, there's a 60-inch stormwater pipe, so it's about a 5-foot diameter stormwater pipe. That's about 12 feet deep underneath that road, underneath all of that other infrastructure I already talked about. So the sediment from above that looks like it had gotten into the pipe, and that's what was causing that void, was there was little bits of sediment going into that pipe over time where it had separated at a joint. So we were able to kind of get that sealed up and then refill the hole and again get the road reopened by about 7:30. Everything that's out there now is a pretty temporary repair, but DOT will come back through and schedule night work at a time that makes sense and do a more kind of permanent repair within that. But exceptional coordination all around from all of our departments internally, everybody working together, but also just great coordination with the DOT and others involved. So
Was it their stormwater pipe?
it was their stormwater pipe, yes, ma'am. And we'll keep coordinating with them and make sure that communication gets out on that as soon as we know everything about it. But it was a tricky situation. Glad we were able to get it resolved and open back up. That was everybody's nightmare, I think, was not being able to get that open back up before the rush of traffic in the morning. So great work all around. Other note, I was notified today, if you guys recall, we submitted 2 federal appropriation requests, one for North Lake Ship Drive and Willowbrook Road. Of the 2, Congressman Franklin's office selected Willowbrook Road and has submitted that as one of their 20 projects they get to submit for community funding. So that's in the mix, and we will continue to chase that in DC and see if we can get some additional dollars. Remember, we've already got a $3 million appropriation for Willowbrook Road, so we're chasing an additional 3. That would give us 6 that we could then match for a total of about $12 million to get that new road built between MLK Boulevard and Lucerne Park Road. So we will continue to watch that and follow it.
Do you think that we'll start the bridge first? Like, would it make sense to say, hey, let's get the bridge going, get that complete, even though the rest, that's the hardest part of that project, certainly by far.
That's probably fair.
Would it, I hate to build 2 roads that go to nowhere, essentially, or end in a canal that you can't cross over. Is there an order of operation that we look at when saying, hey, let's go ahead and get this platform or some sort of, most safe and appropriate construction type? I don't know, I'm not a road person, but to me, you build, like a concrete platform, you just lay over the top of it because the canal's not that big. But I'm not an engineer, and an engineer would say, are you crazy? You shouldn't do that. But is there an order that we would look at in getting things completed?
Yeah, so the first thing we have to do is do some proper design work. We haven't done that yet. That's if we requested funding from the state for design. It was included in the House budget, but not in the Senate. We'll have to see how all that shakes out as the legislature comes back together. If we don't get that state appropriation, we would look at moving forward probably in the next fiscal year with funding some design in-house. And as we go through that design process, there's a lot of permitting that'll be involved, especially when you get to the bridge, because that covers, that flowway is owned and operated, our water management district folks have left, but by the water management district, so that's an important drainage system for them. But as we get in there, we do that design work, that's where we'll start to lay out probably some different phasing options so that we could build sections of it if that's all the funding we had to ultimately get to a final product. But when we go through design, that's when we would do that.
I don't think it's too important to them because they can't maintain it properly. But that's another discussion for another day.
Yes, sir. Another item I have tonight, if I'd like to recognize Brittany Hart, our Public Works Director, has been recognized by the American Public Works Association, so the West Coast branch, for the Young Leader Award, so kind of their Young Leader of the Year Award. It's given to recognize young leaders who have already contributed meaningfully to the profession. She's distinguished herself by modernizing systems, improving efficiency, and strengthening culture in her team. It was also noted in there that her leadership to help not only the city's Public Works Department achieve accreditation, but she also serves as the chair for the state committee that helps other agencies across the state do their jobs better in the public works profession. Lastly, she's also been routinely sought out to present at state and national conferences and received a special invite last year to be part of a joint panel between the American Public Works Association and the International City County Managers Association on helping public works directors and city managers communicate better together. And I think I heard earlier today that she's teed up for about 3 presentations at the APWA State Conference this year. So she reflects very positively on the city organization and the community. I just want to take a moment to recognize her for that. I would also be remiss not to recognize the mayor, who recently received an award from Citizens Bank and Trust as the 2025 Community Leader for his service and leadership in the community. So, and then a happy birthday to Commissioners Birdsong and Dollison. I think that's enough for me for the evening.
Yes.
City Clerk?
And I just want to wish you, Commissioner Birdsong, a belated happy birthday, and Commissioner Dollison an early happy birthday since your birthday's on Friday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Deputy City Clerk? All right, with that, there's some cupcakes if anybody wants to stick around for a cupcake, but come partake and we will adjourn the meeting.